And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is Election Day, Tuesday, November the 5th. Everybody ready? Polls will be opening up in 30 minutes from now. Some point today, take the time out to go cast your vote, no matter where you are standing here in the U.S. of A. We got to have some answers. It would be nice to say that we would have them early. I'm afraid that that may not be the case. We'll have some political analysts speaking with us today of what their thoughts are, where it's going. All that's up and coming today as we begin this together. Right now it is 69, warming up for a high of 84. Now out to our west, way west, we got some showers. We'll show you radar here in just a little bit. If you're in the Shreveport, Louisiana area, getting a few showers this morning. Coming across there, slight 20% chance early, otherwise sunny today. We'll get into the forecast and everything that it has to offer this morning. I do hope you're feeling good as your day is beginning there. Jim Kidd, good morning. I see Diane is with us. Vicki, morning. Alicia is joining us along with Arnold and so many others that are up and at 'em today. Almost time for that second cup of, actually it'd be the third or fourth. It's been a lot. I'm addicted if you can't tell. We got coffee brewing in the background. We'll be right back as we go now to Collinsville, First Baptist Church. Let's see what the word of the day is.
Where do you find your thoughts most often? What is it that you long for most? If you're anything like me, you may find yourself longing after what other people have. Their stuff, their social status, their wealth, their vacations, or maybe just the things they do. But as you may have heard or learned, nothing truly good ever comes from our jealousy or longing for what others have. Proverbs 23:17 and 18 say this: "Don't let your heart envy sinners. Instead, always fear the Lord, for then you will have a future and your hope will not be dashed." First, the author tells us not to envy sinners, but to fear God, to turn our attention to Him. When we covet other people or envy their things, we're jealous and desire things that are imperfect. What a waste of time. Instead, the author calls our attention to the Lord, who is perfect and is the giver of good gifts. James 1:17 says that every good and perfect gift is from above. And Colossians 3:2 says to set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. Our Lord is the only person worth longing for. His gift of forgiveness and salvation is everlasting, and He supplies all our needs. Don't go chasing after imperfect people and things. Seek the Lord. And when we do this, the author of Proverbs says that we will have hope and a future, and our hope will not be dashed. The things of this world don't ever satisfy our ultimate desires. No amount of money or fame, no man or woman, and no accumulation of things will live up to our ultimate desires and needs. Only Christ our Lord gives us purpose and a way of living that leads to everlasting life. He is the only thing that gives us a future and a hope. I pray the words of the old spiritual ring true for you. Give me Jesus. You can have all this world, but give me Jesus. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back as we begin this Tuesday. As we said, Election Day. Polls in Mississippi open at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll look at polls all across the U.S. of A. A lot of watch parties. Are you going to take advantage of that and be somewhere, or just watch it from your couch? Maybe your phone. Well, the truth be, that's where most of us probably will be, is from a phone, as we try to get the information as accurately as we can. As I look at headlines across America, one of the greatest all-time Americans would be George Washington, would it not be? The first leader of our nation. Do you know there's an auction coming up, and for what it is, I guess it's bragging rights. Would you like to have a lock of George Washington's hair? Well, it was passed down from family member to family member in a locket. Is expected to bring somewhere between $30,000 to $40,000. I would have thought maybe a little bit more. Here's one that will also be included in this. The flag that draped Abe Lincoln's coffin will also be in this. Expected to bring somewhere around $1.2 million. That, without a doubt, is a piece of history that never could be replaced. That's all going to be coming up later in the month. Interesting artifacts that will be up. Okay, the hair thing. Elvis's hair, too. That's, but they are legends with their own right. Elvis's hair was going for tons of money when it first happened. I don't know about now. During Odie and his hair. As we go to Peru this morning, the unthinkable happens. I don't know much about soccer, but it's big in Peru. As they were playing a game, a lightning bolt came from the air, struck one of the players and killed him. Whew. a bad deal for that. Dollar Tree, I think we've all seen them, and they've been sort of declining nationwide. They have had the CEO of the company step down. Happened late Sunday night. Changes probably in the air for that company as we look at that headline. Tennessee man is allegedly arrested for plotting against a energy plant. What was he going to do? And they hadn't gone into all the details yet, but we can't have things like that, can we? Electricity. As we all know, a blackout would be one of the worst things that could happen. There will be swarms, and let me warn you of this, swarms and swarms of police across the United States today in case someone tries to do something they shouldn't. Let's hope that doesn't happen, and all of our agents and everybody is on top of their game today. Let's see here. Oh, boy. Careful. Know your doctors. As we look at this story this morning, this is going to go to Massachusetts. You ever been, if any doctor tells you to meet him at a hotel room for a surgery, don't go. It usually is good. Botox is where it all happened. She was falsely claiming to be a doctor. She's been arrested for doing fake Botox. Now, we've all heard of that stuff that goes on, that we go to another country to get a better deal. It ain't worth it. There's a reason that people try to come to our country for medical, because it is better. I know that sound of saving money somewhere, but I can't tell you the many, many times I've read stories of where horror happens. It can even happen here with the professionals. Think about what it does in a cheap motel room. Just don't do it. Ohio is where we go next. I'm sure you've been watching this. Adam Coy, a police officer accused of killing an innocent man. He made a call at 1:30 in the morning to a disturbance of someone breaking in a home. He pulled his gun, told the guy to stop. He didn't. He was a guest in the home. He has been charged with murder. I'm telling you, being a police officer, I would not want that responsibility. That is not my calling in life, so to speak. A lot of judgment calls that you have to make, and sometimes they're not right. We hate that even happened. They're still cleaning up. As we talked about Michigan, the wreck yesterday, do y'all remember that? The bridge, the 18-wheeler that slammed into the back of it. 17 people were injured. 4 people were killed. They're still working for debris on that bridge of what happened there. The USDA, school lunches, and especially when you get into the deep south where there's a lot of families who struggle, school lunch programs. If you have a debit card that you pay for that, they're going to ban the USDA ban online transaction fees for those low-income families. Everybody needs a hand up. What is it, 3% on anything that you buy? Families are getting tore up by this nationwide. Anybody here watch Puff Daddy from prison talk to his family? I missed it too, but, well, they were sure glad to hear from him. He made a phone call on his, 55th birthday yesterday. Nothing like calling home from jail. This is bad as we go to Dallas while signing autographs on stage. And she's not a nationwide artist, but she is from Dallas, a singer that is pretty much well known in the Dallas area, was shot while signing autographs on stage. We live in a different world, don't we? Let's see here. A building in Knoxville, at the Knoxville College, has been destroyed by fire. They're investigating what could have happened. It was a struggling college already. This will not help their case at all. The Boeing strike has ended, and what did they get? 38%. The mechanics at Boeing, that's pretty strong. Pretty soon, that tells me you won't be able to buy a plane ticket. Tickets are going to skyrocket. Y'all all know that as well as I do. We see, I don't know the answer to this. I don't blame anybody for wanting a raise. I really don't. But these profit levels for these different companies are going through the roof. The workers want more. The CEOs want more. Well, we got to pay them $20 million a year bonus. So that ups things as well. But who gets the bad end of this deal? You, the consumer. And average Joe is just not making enough money to support all of this. Now, after they do all that to you on a local level, you're going to be hit by taxes. Each year they try to raise them, don't they? More and more. And if it's not land taxes, well, let's hit you with a fee on your next meal. Let's raise that for tourism. Oh, let's throw another $10 on a car tag for you, and before long, you have about $78 left out of each check. What do you do with that? Christmas is coming. It's tough being an American. Those of you who get up and go to work every day whether you feel like it or not, you know what I mean. Those shoelaces get kind of thin, don't they? It's tough. It's tough out there. We pray for you every day. We need a leader. We need a leader, and we need it bad, locally and nationally. Cast those votes with caution. Know who you're voting for. I've heard of this group. Coldplay, anybody know them? Jeff does. I'm not real familiar with them. But the lead singer fell through a trap door on stage. That can't be good. I've heard of artists falling off the stage backwards, getting too close with the light in their eyes. But the trap door, I guess, was faulty. Fell through. No word yet of how serious the injuries are with that. Mississippi makes headline news this morning. This is horror. As a guy near Jackson, Mississippi yesterday was working on a hydraulic line underneath a dump truck. As he worked on that, it failed. He was covered in hot asphalt. He died at the scene. They don't expect foul play or anything like that, but Lord, y'all pray for that man's family. That's as local can be. Jackson, Mississippi, some 90 miles from here. That just gives me there's no other way to word it other than the heebie-jeebies. Just I feel for that family there. We've got your forecast right around the corner. We'll dig deep into that. Headlines is not as big today because, well, everything is focused on the election. And we'll talk about that as well because it's an important thing to know everything that is going on surrounding this. We'll be right back with that forecast as we begin this day.
When I was elected to the state Senate 9 years ago, my goal was to bring a new generation of conservative leadership to the Capitol to get things done. I'm Jennifer Branning, and I'm running for the Mississippi Supreme Court to do the same thing. I've written legislation to lower taxes and reduce regulations on farmers, manufacturers, and other businesses in Mississippi. On the Supreme Court, I'll use my experience and conservative values to always interpret the law, not to rewrite it or bend the rules for anyone.
Let's face it, accidents are going to happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see my friends and professionals at Chet's Paint and Body Shop in Center Hill. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop. Welcome back. Let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
We'll pull up radar in a moment and show you what's out there to our west as we look at our record highs. Back in 15, we finally got out of 16 for record highs. It was 83 today back in 2015. Whew. 9 years ago. Man, how times is flying. Just hard to believe there. Back in 1991, we had a record low of 24 on this date. As we move forward to glance across what's happening today, 83 is what we should get, 83 to 84, and we do have those chances of sprinkles. As you'll see, as it gets to the Meridian area, it gets a little weaker. About a 20% chance there. Otherwise, it'll break off and become sunny by afternoon. Out to our west, we're watching that. We'll give it a smidgen of a chance as we move into Alabama there. 81 in Demopolis, 78 in Birmingham is what we're looking for. Could change as we look at those strong winds possible today out to the Yazoo area up in the Mississippi Delta. Chances of that still occurring. And as always, we still got this going on here, that thunderstorm activity right there at the Mississippi River, more so into Louisiana than us, but maybe a few miles into Mississippi, a chance of some thunderstorms. It's approaching. It should be from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. We'll show you all that in a moment. The heat wave continues as we glance across the nation. Again, the deep south being the warmest. Here's our 7-day forecast as we hit 84 today. We should get down to 66 tonight. I've gotten kind of used to those 50-degree nights. How'd y'all like that? Feels good when you wake up. Now, 60 is not bad, don't get me wrong, but 50 is perfect. 83 tomorrow as we'll decrease to a 10% chance. And look at this. Over the weekend, deer hunters are jumping with excitement. It's almost as if Santa Claus is coming as we see 40% chance of rain Friday and Saturday night. 76 for a high on Friday. 77 over the weekend. Look at that. Perfect there for going to church. Now, keep an umbrella handy just in case it may happen. We can never tell. Back to work on Monday with a 20% chance. Let's go another week into this as we'll see some 60-degree weather, at least for a couple of days. Nighttime lows, let's hope they get back into the 50s there. 81 on the 12th as we get into that 14th area midway through the month. 67 as we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving. Look at this, 72 there projected on the 19th. Can you believe we're already talking about Thanksgiving? It's here, folks. Be ready. Now, our fishing forecast comes to you from J&J Auto Sales as we go out today for a major time. Happened before daylight. We got another major time coming this afternoon around 3. Should last until about 5 o'clock there if you get a moment to go get on the bank. Wind's going to be southeast wind 10 to 15. But look at this, gusty today. 25-mile-an-hour gust up to there. It's going to be bad hair day for a lot of folks, for those of you who have it. What's happening with the hunting today? Let's go back to it. Major times will be at 2 o'clock this afternoon. If you can climb a tree, perfect bow hunting from 2 until 4 today. Should be good for you there. Day rating is average. Sunrise is going to hit around 6:15 this morning. Sunset happens right at 5. That's hard to believe, isn't it? Again, the wind's going to be south-southeast wind, 10 to 15 with gusts as up to 20 to 25, depending upon where you're standing. As we look at this national hurricane season, normally I've already packed this away for the year. I can't do that yet, can I? As we watch Raphael, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Raphael, as we'll say that it's a tropical storm moving along at 58 miles an hour this morning. Gusts of 69 miles an hour. The pressure is at 993 millibars, moving northwest at 13 miles an hour. Now let's go to radar and look at all of this so you'll fully understand what we've got going on. Let me back up and go over here and pull this up. Radar. As we pull this up, here's what we've got. As we look to our west, we've got showers there from Corpus Christi, Texas, through Victoria, through downtown Houston, through Tyler, Texas, to Shreveport, Louisiana, all up here through Little Rock, Conway, Arkansas, out to our west. And we'll get a little bit of that. We're showing some showers there around Macomb this morning in South Mississippi and around Natchez at this point. Nothing on the East Mississippi side. Some showers around Selma coming in this morning, also around Birmingham. Nothing heavy. Now, let's back out and look at this nastygram that we've got going on here. This morning, right here, as we look at this was moving along northwest at 13 miles an hour. Let's do a refresh here to make sure I've got the latest on this. Let's see here. They did do another update a few moments ago. And as we zoom in on this right now, moving along, it's still at 13 miles an hour, wind speed at 60 miles an hour. It is a tropical storm. It's moved up 2 miles an hour faster. We're expecting this tomorrow at midnight tonight, rolling in to be a Category 1 near the Cayman Islands. It will move from 60 to about 81 miles an hour. Now, uncertainty as we look at this. It all looks as though it's headed toward the Louisiana line, somewhere near Galveston, Texas, as we look at this. But it will downgrade on Friday from a Category 1 back to a tropical storm. Now, let's look at what we've got here when it comes to the tropical. And again, none of this is 100% yet. As we see these spaghetti lines, look at this starting to show a little bit there, either going west or up through Montgomery there on the coast of Alabama. Again, we're way into this, days out on this. This will be more redefined as this comes. What will it go? The storm tracking more to the west of us than it is to the east is what we've got so far. And we'll watch this, and we've got a few days out before it's 100% anything on it. Just Alabama, those areas there, be cautious. And our concern at this point is Galveston, somewhere in the Louisiana coastline is what we're expecting. Again, but it will not be a huge, major storm. We're expecting it to downgrade to a tropical storm. Any storm is bad, but it certainly is nice to know that it's that instead of something at a Cat 5 or better. Beth, how in the world are you doing? Wayne and Dolores Roberts are up and at 'em. We're already sitting at 10 till, which means we'll go live in about 4.5 minutes. Be back for that as we'll get the morning show underway. We got coffee to make, things to get ready, and what's going to happen today? What does America do? What does America decide? We're going to discuss all of this. It's on the way. Jeff Tate standing by. He's a political analyst. He knows this type stuff. He's digging deep. I think he's got that girl on the other line. She's giving advice from the air. We've got all that and more. It's going to be a great show. Won't you join us? It gets underway this morning at 7.